Hey, what else going on, you guys? It is NegativeAE, and welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright. Last we left off, we had just done some investigating, and now we're jumping into Maya's kind of trial here. I'm gonna be honest with you, I have some suspicions, but I don't know exactly what we're gonna do here. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Maya Fey. Oh, okay. This is kind of like the guy that I think of as the opponent whenever I think of this game. Just because whenever I see Phoenix, I also see him. So I wonder if he's like my rival. Miles Edgeworth. I better not show any signs of weakness today, or he'll be on me in an instant. Mr. Edgeworth, please give the court your opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, was at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has evidence she committed this murder, and we have a witness who saw her do it. The prosecution sees no reason to doubt the facts of this case, Your Honor. I see. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Let's begin. If we may call our first witness, Your Honor. The prosecution calls the chief officer at the scene, Detective Gumshoe. Witness, please state your name and profession to the court. Sir, my name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm the detective in charge of homicides at the precinct, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please describe for us the details of this murder. Very well, sir. Let me use this floor map of the office to explain. Okay, I'm ready. What's going on here? The body was found by this window here. And the cause of death? Loss of blood due to being struck by a blunt object, sir. The murder weapon was a statue of the thinker found next to the body, sir. It was heavy enough to be a deadly weapon even in a girl's hand, sir. The court accepts the statue as evidence. Still calling it a statue. Floor plans added to the court record. Now, detective. Yes, sir. You immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey, who was found at the scene, correct? Can you tell me why? Yes, sir. I had hard evidence she did it, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please testify to the court about this hard evidence. Hold on, I need to look over what I have here. Department store receipt. What's up? You haven't called in a while. There's something I want you to hold on to for me. What is it this time? It's the thinker, and it tells you time. I should probably tell you the clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working? That's lame. I had to take the clockwork out. I'm sorry. I put some papers inside it instead. Papers. Is that the evidence then? I'll leave that one up to your imagination. See you tonight at 9. This was 9:27 a.m., so they were talking about 9 p.m. Okay. Witness testimony, what do you got to say? As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. There were 2 people there already. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey. Why? We had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Miss Maya Fey at the very moment of the murder. The very moment, you say. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may begin. Oh my god, I have to begin my cross-examination already? Okay, hold on. So, I think I'm going to counter-argument with the autopsy. Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examine what? I couldn't see a single contradiction in that testimony. Whoosh. Smack. Hey, Maya just threw something at me. What's this? When my sister couldn't find any contradictions in a witness's testimony, she would bluff it and press the witness on every detail. The witness always slips up and says something wrong. It worked lots of times. I should have expected Maya would know some of the trick of her sister's tricks. Alright, let's give this a try. Something the matter? No, Your Honor. I'd like to begin my cross-examination. Maya faces arrest. Rush to the scene. There were 2 people there already. The defendant, Ms. Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Mrs. Maya Fey, or Miss Maya Fey. Why? We had a witness account describing her, okay? The witness saw Miss Maya Fey at the very... Press that. Press it. Hold on just 1 second. Yeah? If I heard correctly, you said you arrested her because you had hard evidence she did it, correct? Did I say that? Me? I heard you say it. You did say it. Yes, you said it. Cool. Exactly what about this suspicious woman in Pink's claim was hard evidence? What? Miss Meg isn't suspicious. And she sure isn't Pink, pal. Yes, she is. Well, I guess she is Pink. That's enough. Detective Gumshoe, do you have any more solid proof other than her claims, Detective? I guess pressing can have its advantages. Yes. Okay. Sorry, I got the order of things mixed up in my testimony, Your Honor, sir. There was something I should have told you about first, Your Honor. Very well, Detective. Let's hear your testimony again. Okay. I don't like that there's a possibility that they don't say anything wrong, and that I have to catch that they don't say anything wrong. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be real tough. I can already tell how hard this game is gonna get. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya was written clearly in blood. Lab test results show that the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. How do you like that? That's my hard evidence. Before we begin cross-examination, I have a question for you, Detective. Your Honor. Why didn't you testify about that vital piece of evidence the first time? No, I'm real embarrassed I forgot about it, Your Honor, sir. Try to be more careful. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Fuck. Okay. After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. What is flawed here? Do I have to press him? I guess I press him on how he knows that it's the murderer. I think that's what I have to do, right? I have to press him on why he thinks that it's the murderer that is what she wrote. Found a memo with a piece of paper written next to the victim's body. On the word Maya was written clearly in blood. Lab test results showed the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name, press. Detective Gumshoe. You get a lot of cases where the victim actually writes the killer's name. Sure, it happens all the time in books and the movies. This isn't a movie, Detective. Oof. Let's talk about reality, shall we? I guess I haven't heard of many cases, no. Don't you find it a little odd that the victim would write down a name? Especially the name of her own sister? Yeah, actually, you got a point, pal. Stop right there. The witness's opinion on the matter is irrelevant. The facts are clear. The victim wrote down the name of the accused. The victim told us the name of her killer. Okay. Order. That didn't go so well. That's right. What he said. That's his whole testimony. Okay. There has to be a contradiction in there somewhere. Let's find it. Okay, so we did that wrong. This is gonna be tough. A department store with letters written on the back, so that's the letter we're talking about. I guess gosh, I feel like I have to reference the cell phone here, just to have them, because I feel like if it's revealed that her sister knew she was meeting her there, then maybe that would change some things. So that's what I'm gonna do. Found a memo written on the victim's body. On it, the word Maya was written clearly in blood. Blood is the victim's. So there was blood found on the victim's finger. Where she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. Okay, so we're gonna present the phone. Oh, wait, we gotta present the phone, I'm sorry. Present. This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. That means I'm wrong. Fuck. How exactly are the evidence in the that evidence and the statement just now related? They aren't they? Not at all. Mr. Wright, please think over the fact. I'm trying my best, Mr. Judge. Not that that won me any points at the judge. Fuck! Oh, we can go back and forth. What are the options? Okay. Okay, so we can select... Okay, so I feel less pressed. I thought that I had to catch the text before it passed. But I can go back and forth. I found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. There is nothing wrong with that. That's exactly what happened. Piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya is clearly written in blood. So far, no contradictions. Lab results showed that the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's finger. It's gotta be... God, I am gonna be so bad at this. Death was instantaneous. Oh my god, I figured it out. Oh my god, death was instantaneous. No. Death was instantaneous. Oh my goodness, I found it. I have to actually be a fucking detective over here. Oh my god. Detective Gumshoe, there's one thing I want you to clarify for me here. You say that the victim, Miss Mia Fey, wrote this note. That she was accusing the defendant, Maya Fey. That's really what you're saying? What? This isn't one of those lawyer tricks now, is it? Of course she wrote it. Who else would've? Or could've? You have it backwards, detective. Backwards? The victim is the only person who absolutely could not have written it. This is a report from your department, detective. Immediate death due to a blow from a blunt object. She died immediately. But no butting your way out of this one, detective. So I gotta really pay attention to how they died and really review the evidence. Because I feel like I just missed that, reading it really fast. If I would have just paid attention to that death autopsy and seeing that it was instantaneous. Who knows? Someone who died immediately wouldn't have had time to write anything down. Mr. Wright, I beg your pardon, but when exactly did you obtain that autopsy report? What? When? I don't have any idea. I really don't remember. When did I receive the autopsy report? God, I forget. It wasn't the day. Was it the day after, or was it the day of? No, it was the day of. I've had this autopsy report day of. Pretty sure it was the day of the murder. You're wrong there, pal. We didn't write an autopsy report till the day after. Oh, right. The prosecution's point being that autopsy report is outdated, Your Honor. What? The second autopsy was performed yesterday at my request. The death was almost immediate due to a blow from a blunt object. I hate you. But there is a possibility the victim lived for several minutes after the blow. I received these results this morning. No way. When did she die? 9 p.m. Okay, well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Your Honor, it's quite easy to imagine the victim did have time to write Maya. That is all. I see. Damn you, Edgeworth. I should have known you have something up your sleeve. Why, Mr. Wright, you look shocked. Something you want to say? I would have to say that you're a sham, Edward. I've heard there's nothing you won't do to get your verdict. What reason could you possibly have to request a second autopsy report? Mr. Wright, the defense will refrain from personal attacks on the prosecution. No matter, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, say what you will, the evidence in this report is undeniable. Your Honor, I submit this report to the court. Understood. The court accepts the evidence. Interesting. Well, Your Honor. Well, so hold on. I suppose that's the obvious conclusion, yes. Oh, dude, here's everybody in the case. Bellboy. I wonder what he has to do with anything. What the fuck? Darn, this isn't good. Prosecution would like to call its next witness. This poor, innocent girl saw the murder with her own eyes. Let the witness, Miss April May, take the stand. April May, that is super dumb. What is... Exactly what part of her is innocent? Alright. She looks like she could turn pretty scary. I hate you. April May at your service, wink. Order. An intrusion should not require any reaction from the crowd. Wait. Oh no, the witness will refrain from wanton winking? Or wonton winking? Just random winking, I guess. He's already captured the heart of every man in this courtroom. Tell us, where were you on the night of September 5th, when the murder occurred? Gee, I was like, in my hotel room? Teehee. I checked right in after lunch. Or checked in right after lunch. And this hotel is directly across from the Fair & Co. law offices? That's right, big boy. Okay. Please testify to the court what you saw. I feel like this could be pretty easy to take apart. It was like 9 at night. I looked out the window. Oh, she got the time right. Fuck. Okay. I like how this autopsy report doesn't have a date or time that they died. Okay. So the time is right. And then, ooh, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. The one attacking her was the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. Then the woman, like, dodged to one side and ran away. But that girl, she caught up to her and she hit her. Then the woman with the long hair, she kind of slumped. The end. That's all I saw. Every little bitsy witsy wink. That's the wonton winking that he was just talking about. Well, Your Honor. I see. It is a remarkably solid testimony. I don't see a need to trouble the witness any... Wait, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright? What about my cross-examination? I thought the witness's testimony just now was quite firm, didn't you? Mr. Wright, I understand that you were Miss Mia Fey's understudy, were you not? You must know her techniques well. Her cowardly way of finding tiny faults in perfectly good testimonies. Hey, how dare you? Well, Mr. Wright, will you cross-examine? Yes, I'm doing it. I'll gladly proceed with the cross-examination. Only because I have a feeling Edgeworth doesn't want me to. She has to have some weakness. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay, guys. There's gonna be some Danganronpa trials here. It was like 9 at night. I looked at the window, you know? Can I check this real quick? That's the window. That's what you saw. Okay, so there's some glass that we need to explain. Okay. And then it's like, ooh, I saw a woman being attacked. The one attacking her was the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. And then the woman, like, dodged to one side and ran away. But that girl, she caught up to her and she hit her. Fuck! Okay, she looked out the window. Ooh, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. Attacking her was it. Press that. How do you know it was my client? Huh? Well, first of all, she had a girl's physique, and secondly, she was small. Who else could it be but her? I questioned your testimony. Hold on a minute. That testimony stinks. What? Miss May, I'm willing to bet that you're lying. Did you really see the defendant? Yeah, she got those snake eyes real fast. Mr. Wright, what's the meaning of this? Yeah, what is the meaning? Somebody tell me because I'm clueless. About this, I mean. Okay. If you had really witnessed my client, Maya Fey, you would have noticed her clothes before noticing her physique. No one wears clothes like this on a daily basis except her. And I'm no expert on fashion, but her hairdo looks far from normal to me. However, the witness's testimony mentions neither of these things. The testimony is bogus. But still, we don't know if she was dressed like that way the night of the murder. She was, Your Honor. I saw her. And so did Detective Gumshoe. What do you say to that, Miss May? Roar, what are you trying to say, you mean lawyer? I saw what I saw. I just didn't think all the trifling little details were necessary, darling. Miss May, the court would like to remind you to please omit nothing in your testimony. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'll be a good girl, I promise. Wink. I hate you so much. Your testimony, again, if you would. Okay. Almost had her. I did see everything, I did! The victim, the woman dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. Then the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. And she hit her with that weapon. I saw it, I did! That clock, kind of statuey clock? The thinker? Oh. How do you know it's a clock, girl? How do you know it's a clock? Does the accuracy of my report not startle you? Teehee. Cross-exam. Cross-examine. I don't think that's what I have to do, though, because there's... I think what I have to do is mention the lamp. I only wish you had been so detailed from the beginning. Please begin the cross-examination. I think I have to mention the broken glass. I did see everything, I did. The victim, the woman, she dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. Do I press here or do I not? See, like, this is a tough situation, because it's like I could mention this right here. Then the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. So I'm going to mention the broken glass. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. It does? I don't see anything oh, fuck. Fuck! Objection overruled. Try to think before you make answers. There's a broken... If you look at the freaking layout, do I have to reference the layout? Dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. Because if you look at this, look at that. She ran off to the right. Maybe when the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. Did you hit her with the weapon? I saw it, I did. But you couldn't have seen it because of the room layout. No? Does that red up there mean I got it wrong? Your Honor, that statement contradicts the evidence. No, it doesn't, does it? Fuck! Okay, so I have to press her. I have to press her on it. Press. Where did this weapon come from? Is pressing free? Should I just be pressing at every moment in time? She picked it up from the desk. I see. What sort of weapon was it? That clock. Kind of statue clock? Thinker, I guess? I mean, it looks like it's free. A clock. Didn't this come up in another testimony recently? Well, don't look so sour, Mr. Lawyer. You can't win them all. No, but I have a feeling I'm onto something now. The clock, the kind of statue clock, the thinker, I think? Present it. Miss May. Dude, we're on thin ice on this trial. What you said just now was quite revealing. Dude, I love the success music, like when you get like a point, it's like do 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 do. It's awesome. You just said that the statue of the thinker was a clock. But there's no way of knowing that just by looking at it. Another person in the same position as you recently called this a clock too. And he was found guilty of murder. Order, order. Miss May, can you explain how you know this was a clock? Ooh, the witness saw the murder with her own eyes. That's all that's important here. The defense is trying to confuse the issue with trivial concerns. Yes, yes, of course. You will withdraw your question, Mr. Wright. But questions are all I have, Your Honor. And as you may recall, I've caught murderers with these questions before. Well, only once. The court can allow that? Objection sustained. You may continue to question the witness. Phew. That was close. If he stopped me there, the trial would have been over. Yeah, I was gonna say. What? So, what happens now? What happens now is you answer my question. How did you know it was a clock? That's... because... I heard it? Yes. I heard it say the time. So you've been to the law offices of Fay & Co. No. Hey, I didn't say that. Why would I go there? I heard it from my hotel room. Hee hee. Law offices of Fay & Co. where the murder took place is very close to the hotel. You could easily have heard the clock. Well, Mr. Wright, are you satisfied? No. No, I'm not. No, Your Honor. I can't give up now. I'm not satisfied because it couldn't have rung. Your Honor, members of the court, it is inconceivable that the clock in question rang. It's empty. That clock is missing its clockwork. How could you possibly? Just take a look right now. Oh. See anything interesting, Your Honor? It is as the defense says. This clock is missing its clockwork. It's quite empty. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain to the court the meaning of this? It is as you can see. The clock was empty. It couldn't have rung. Therefore, this witness is a big fat liar. Fat? Well, Miss May? Tisk tisk. Quite a show you've put on for us, Mr. Wright. He knew the clock was empty. Somehow he knew. I'm afraid you've forgotten one thing, however. Indeed, the clock is empty. As you say, but it can't ring. However, we must ask, when was the clockwork removed? If it was after the witness heard the clock, there is no contradiction. That's true. That is a possibility. The clock might have been emptied after she heard it. And that is exactly what happened, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, can you prove when the clockwork was removed? Oh, impossible, of course. Well, present it. Present the cell phone. I have proof. What? Wasn't it you who told me proof is everything? Well, I was listening. And now I'll show you the proof you like so much. The evidence proves that the clockwork was removed is the cell phone. The cell phone. Present it. I always press enter because I feel like that's the button it should be. Take a look at this. That's a very cute cell phone. Woohoo! You have a girly phone. Wait, this isn't my phone. Listen. This is the defendant's cell phone and it contains a recording. A recording of a conversation she had with the victim on the day of the murder. Order. The defendant's cell phone? This wasn't brought to my attention. Perhaps Detective Gumshoe overlooked it? Rumble. Good detective. Better remember he's up for evaluation soon. I gotta say, I'm starting to feel bad for the big fella. Let's hear the conversation. You just want me to hold on to the thinker for you? If you could. I should probably tell you. The clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working. That's lame. I had to take the clockwork out. Sorry. Your Honor, I think this makes it clear that the clockwork was already gone by the time this was recorded. Which was well before the witness even arrived at her hotel. Well, Miss May, would you care to explain this to the court? Just how did you know that weapon was a clock? Well, isn't it obvious? I saw that clock before. What store was that at again? I go to so many. Oops, I forgot. Wink. So the witness had just seen it before. That would make sense. Does the defense have any objections, Mr. Wright? I do. I definitely do. The witness claims she had seen it before, but this directly contradicts a piece of evidence already submitted to this court. Well then, let's see it. Please produce this evidence that will prove the witness has not seen the clock before. It's simple. This clock was never in any store ever. What? A friend of mine made that clock. Only two exist in the world. The one that isn't here is in police custody. Impossible. Everything is sold in stores. Miss May, I think it's high time you went shopping for a better excuse. God damn it, dude. I think it's high time you went shopping for a better excuse. That is awesome. Excuse is not on sale today. God damn. Savage, dude. God damn. Oh, okay. Alright, let's go. What's it to you, porcupine head? That stupid clock doesn't matter, okay? She did it. And she should die for it. Die! A distressed Miss May voice. Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is a court of law, and the witness will remain calm. Oh? Oh? Oh ho ho ho. Silly me. Did I, like, lose it? I guess I did. Teehee. Wink. Scary. Miss May, let me ask. Tell me, how did you know that the weapon was a clock? Oh dear. Does the defense have an opinion on this behavior? Okay, this is it. Yes, Your Honor. Allow me to explain how I see the truth of the matter. Miss April May, you knew the weapon was a clock because... I'm going to make a wild guess and say that you had heard about it. You had heard about it. The witness had never held the clock in her hand. However, she had heard that it was a clock. Heard. That is correct, Your Honor. There was no other way she could have known the Thinkerer was a clock. And I can show you the proof. Well, this is interesting. Let's see it then. Show me the evidence proving that the witness had heard the murder weapon was a clock. Have a look at this. Ooh, that? I found this in Miss May's room. Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what this is. Miss April May, you were tapping the victim, Miss Mia Fey's phone, were you not? Your Honor, this is irrelevant. I'm not entirely sure that it is. Objection overruled. It troubles me that our witness was in possession of a wiretap. This is outrageous. Does the defense truly can't claim that the witness was tapping her phone? Absolutely. Even if that was the case, which it's not, you still have to prove one thing. Did the victim ever say that the weapon was a clock on the phone? Can you prove that? I think not. Oh yeah? I think I can. It's simple. What? Here's my proof. Proof that the victim said on the phone that the weapon was a clock is the cell phone. I present the defendant's cell phone. Yes, we've seen that. Listen once more to the conversation between the defendant and the victim. Yeah. What's up? You haven't called in a while. Well, there's actually something I want you to hold on to for me. Again? What is it this time? It's a clock. Made to look like that statue, the Thinker, and it tells you the time. Miss April May. You used a wiretap to listen to this conversation. That's how you knew the Thinker was a clock. Am I wrong? Objection! For some reason, whenever I look at the Thinker, I think the Tinkerer, because I've played so many games where that's a thing. But it's not. It's the Thinker, and I don't know why. You're on to look at the witness's face. Does she seem amused to you? The defense demands an answer. Witness, answer the question. Did you tap her phone? Miss May. Shut up, all of you. What gives you the right to talk to me like that? You lawyer. It's no fair. All of you ganging up on me like that? So I'm the bad girl. Is that it? Is that it? Wow. So she's crying. I did it. The court's seen the real Miss April May now. Now to deal the final blow. Why the wiretap? Why did you tap her phone? I don't think she didn't do it. It was like some guy and like pink hair, right? Answer the question. Do I have to? Isn't this a murder trial? Isn't tippity tapping irrelevant? Saying exactly what Edgeworth wants her to say. Miss May, you were tapping the victim's phone. I hardly call that irrelevant. While this court does not condone the defense's tone of voice, he has a point. Well, Miss May, do you have an explanation for the court? Can you prove you had nothing to do with this murder, even though you tapped her phone? I'd like to see her pull that off. Mr. Lawyer, I saw that evil, evil grin. You were probably thinking I'd like to see her pull that off, weren't you? Jesus Christ. Damn, she's good. Well, you're not the first man who's thought that. And, of course, I can. And I will. You can't be serious. No way. Way, I say. Way! Oh, and I assure you, I'm serious, Mr. Lawyer. Okay, so the killing happened around 9 at night? Why, that's just when I was getting room service from that sweet bellboy. Room service? Iced coffee, I believe it was? Iced coffee, you know, like normal coffee, but cold. If you don't drink it quick, the ice melts, and then you have regular cold coffee. This coffee? Think I'm making this up? Ask the bellboy. Wink. Ergo, the witness was not at the scene of the crime, or on the scene at the time of the murder. Yeah, because she didn't do it. She was in cohesion. It is my great displeasure to inform you that the witness appears to have been tapping the victim's telephone. However, that is a separate crime with no bearing on the current case whatsoever. Your testimony stands. She saw the defendant, Miss Maya May, commit the murder. I added that, Miss Maya May. But no, they're going to just let her walk away. There's no way I can win unless I tie Miss May to the murder somehow. Well, does the defense have anything to say? Well, come on, think of something. Do I have anything that I would want to... I'm not... The bellboy wouldn't make sense. Because the bellboy doesn't... I believe she's telling the truth about iced coffee. I don't really think that she's lying about being in the room. I think we have to keep examining her because there's something... She doesn't know about what happened with that lamp. Pretty much guaranteed. So I think we have to continue analyzing Miss May over here. Right. On with the cross-examination. What exactly do you have left to examine, Mr. Wright? Miss April May has admitted to the wiretap, yes. But that bears no relevance at the case at hand, murder. There's no way you can prove any connection. Uh-oh. Think, this can't be the end, but I'm out of evidence. And I believe the cross-examination is over. Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have any other witnesses to call? None, Your Honor. She's the last. What? What that means? Maya's guilty? Wait, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright? The defense would like to call the bellboy after all. Tisk, tisk. As I thought. May I remind you, dear Mr. Wright, should you question the bellboy, and Miss April May's alibi prove to be solid, then by default your client, Miss Maya Fey, will be pronounced guilty. Are you prepared to accept my condition? It's Edgeworth. It's got me backed into a corner, but I don't see any other way to take this. I accept. I thought for sure the bellboy would know nothing. The bellboy to the stand. I believe we're ready for the witness to testify. He certainly does look like a bellboy. Yes, sir. I received your summons in the middle of work, sir. I'm happy to be of service. Why does he have the tea set? The tea set looks rather heavy, so without further ado, the witness may begin his testimony. Very good, sir. Okay. I'm the head bellboy at the fine Gatewater Hotel in business for 4 generations. I believe I received a call after 8 in the evening from our guest, Miss May. She asked for an iced coffee and to be brought to her at 9 on the dot, sir. I brought it to her at precisely the requested time, of course. And I delivered the iced coffee to our guest, Miss May herself. I see. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Right, I'm ready. I hope. This is it. I can't prove Miss May was involved with the murder somehow, or now, I will be finished. Oh God. Okay. I'm the head bellboy at the good. I don't see any problem with that. Sure. I mean, I guess like I should press on everything, right? Like, shouldn't I just press on everything? It's completely free to press. The broken remains of the non-wrong recognition. So I'm trying to think of what could be contradicted here. Let's just press them on stuff, because it's free. Hold it. What exactly is it you do at the hotel? Why, anything that is required of me, sir. I check in guests, check out guests, I clean rooms, I make beds, I even deliver the room service. I checked Miss May in personally. Are you always so prim? Mr. Wright, you will refrain from asking frivolous questions. Okay, so yeah, it's completely free. Keep pressing. Are you sure it was Miss May on the phone? Absolutely, sir. How can you be so certain? I checked Miss May in personally, sir. Not only did I see her in all her stunning radiance, but I also heard her voice. And then I saw them, and I... But the point being, I remembered her quite well, sir. Yes, what then? She asked for an iced coffee and brought 9 o'clock on the dot, sir. 9 o'clock on the dot, you say? Yes, I confirmed that detail several times. She was watching a program on TV and wished to drink after she finished, sir. 9 o'clock, the time of the murder. I brought it to her at precisely requested time, of course. Why would we not just press on everything? Precisely 9, then. Precisely, exactly, and most definitely, sir. 9 p.m. How can you be so sure? Miss May was quite insistent that it be brought then. Oh, bellboy, tee-hee. I'd like an iced coffee at exactly 9 o'clock? Something like that, sir. Therefore, I knocked on her door at the crack of 9, sir. Why would she be so particular at the time? Okay. Okay, let me press on this last thing. Are you sure it was Miss April May herself? Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Yes, sir. As in, so very absolutely, sir. It's an endearing mannerism of mine. How come you're so very certain? Well, when I brought up room service, the guest served me with embrace. It's French for kiss, sir, but not a French kiss, sir. More of a peck on the cheek. Why would she have done that? I believe perhaps she was momentarily swayed by my prim demeanor, sir. It's a moment I shall never ever forget. Sounds pretty fishy to me. I think our Miss May was up to something the poor boy wanted her to remember her. Oh good. There's something here. If there's nothing here, is that it? Protest. Wait. Please wait. Yes? Does the defense have something to add? One last question. Let me ask one last question. Your Honor, I must object. This charade of justice has gone on long enough. Now, Mr. Edgeworth. Alright, Mr. Wright, I'll give you one more question, that's all. Okay. This is really it now, my last chance. What do I ask him about? The room service. Okay. It's the room service, right? Not the bed making, not the check-in, the room service. Tell me again about the room service. Again, sir? Exactly 9 o'clock, I delivered room service to Miss May in room 303. The guest requested iced coffee. $18 was the charge, as I recall. I see. $18. Doesn't that seem a bit expensive? What? That's not what we should be. What we should be paying attention to is that it's 9 o'clock is when she's getting the thing, and that's exactly when the murder happened. What did he say? Did you say? Rather, quite. Oh boy. Tell us the truth now. Was someone else staying in Miss May's room? I object. That was objection. I thought I was doing some wrong shit, dude. I couldn't find anything in that man's statement. And so I was like, oh fuck, I couldn't find it. And I thought it was over. But we did it. We just had to, like, fail once. This game is gonna throw me for a loop, dude. Why did you not mention this in your testimony? Sir, you didn't ask. Nice try. That's the sort of thing you're normally supposed to mention. Yeah, quite, indeed. It was the, good forester there, Mr. Edgeworth, who... He asked me not to mention it if I wasn't specifically asked, sir. Oof. You fool. I've done it. Won. Miss April May checked into a twin room with a man, correct? Yes, sir. Then, when you brought them room service, you didn't see that man in the room? That's right, sir. Your Honor, we have just learned of another person involved who may have been at the murder. In light of this new fact, I hold that it's impossible to judge the defendant. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth? And who, Mr. Wright, is this other person? Simple. Was... the man who checked in with Miss May. Your Honor, as has been previously revealed, Miss April May was tapping the victim's phone, yet Miss May herself has an alibi at the time of the murder. However, that does not clear the man that was with her. The bellboy saw no one else in the room at the time of the murder. My, what a convenient little setup, but it's too late. Too late? I suppose you'd like it if it was too late, wouldn't you? After all, it was you who hid the presence of the other man from this court. Upstart, amateur. These accusations are ludicrous. Enough. The court acknowledges the defense's argument. I expect the prosecution and defense to look into this matter fully. Am I understood? Yes, Your Honor. That is all today for the trial of my affair. The court is adjourned. Wow, so we just have a halftime. Cool. Can I save here? Mr. Wright. You were amazing in there. Really? I think I might be your newest fan. Oh, I was just doing my job, you know? Then again, the other attorney was pretty cool too. Huh? That face of his, with his eyes wide and trembling lips, it sent shivers up my spine. If you say so. So, what happens with me? Do I get to go home now? Well... No, I don't think so. Not yet. Oh, I see. But I got a great lead on today's trial. Lead? That man with Miss May. He's the key. Oh, I get it. What happened to Miss May after that, anyway? I heard they arrested her. I guess she's learning her charms won't work everywhere. She's probably at the detention center now. I may have to go down there later. Anyway, this case is far from closed. Yes, sir. We're going to find out more about this man. You think he was the one who... Maybe so. Sis, don't worry. I'll find him by tomorrow, I promise. I'm counting on you. Wow. I asked for a full record of April May's testimony. I thought it might come in handy during the trial tomorrow. But now that I have it, I'm not so sure. Most of her testimony was all lies. In fact, there's only one part that hasn't been stricken from the record. May's testimony added to the core record. I don't know how much good this one will do me at all now. Anyway, time to hit the pavement and do some investigating. Maya doesn't belong in the detention center, and it's up to me to set her free. Wow. We can save it. Cool. So I guess that's it. That took me quite a bit longer than the other trial, just because I wasn't... There's that press mechanic, and I wasn't aware that it's free to press. So we should be pressing on every detail, especially if we don't know where. If we already know where we're going to hit the evidence, then we should hit that. But if we don't, we can just press every statement, except for the last one, because the last one ends the thing. Or as far as... Or at least I think it does. I don't actually know, because that, like, I think I was supposed to fail that and like ask about the room service. I don't know. But yeah, so pressing is free. Kind of bringing up evidence is not. So we kind of want to be very careful and keep our battery as high as possible, so that way we can kind of do that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Lots of visual novel stuff if you're interested in that. There's also like platformer roguelike stuff if you're interested in that. Some interesting stuff. I mean, I kind of knew how it was going. Like she was in cahoots, but it was kind of rough. It's rough trying to pick out where they lie. That's the hard part, right? Anyway, I will see you guys in the next one, whenever that may be. We're gonna do some investigating. Peace out, you guys.